Now tell me, where is your master? Where is Grand Admiral Thrawn?
Grand Admiral Thrawn is one of the greatest unsung villains in Star Wars history. The reason I say unsung is because for most casual fans of the franchise, this clip from The Mandalorian was the first time they've ever heard his name. No shade to casual fans at all, but when I personally heard the name drop from Ahsoka Tano herself, my reaction was a little something like this. What made this moment a big deal for Star Wars fans everywhere is that after Disney bought Lucasfilm for all the money, we had very little to no hope at all that we would ever get to see Grand Admiral Thrawn in the new Star Wars canon. If anything, the sequel trilogy pretty much validated our concerns. So when this moment happened, it kinda reminded me of how I felt when I first saw Thanos smile into the camera back in 2012. You know the scene. It was this moment where the MCU's central villain let the Avengers and the entire Marvel fandom know that he was coming. Yeah, it's that serious. But to familiarize everyone watching this video, Thrawn Naruto, or Thrawn for short, was first originated in the Star Wars Expanded Universe books in the early 90s. In these books, we come to know Thrawn as a brilliant, analytical war strategist who believed that the Empire provided the most efficient methods to maintain peace and order in the galaxy. I could honestly go on all day, but if you want to know more about Thrawn's character traits and general story arc, the original Thrawn trilogy of books is a great place to start. Also, look into the new Thrawn trilogy as well. Each was written in great detail by renowned author Timothy Zahn. For today though, we'll only be focusing on who in my opinion would be the best actor to portray Grand Admiral Thrawn in live action. So without further ado, let's jump into the countdown. Number 5, Hugo Weaving. I personally like Hugo Weaving for the role of Grand Admiral Thrawn, mainly because of the fact that he's one of the best portrayals of the quintessential villain in movie history. You know the type of guys who you see on screen and immediately think, oh, he's the bad guy for sure. Think Dorian from The Mask. But as most of you know, Hugo Weaving has had some of the most famous roles in film, from Red Skull to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Elrond from Lord of the Rings, and most notably Agent Smith from The Matrix, just to name a few. Due to his experience and appearance, I feel as though he can pull off the general aesthetic and mannerisms of Thrawn with much success. Just to be as clear as possible, I think Grand Admiral Thrawn should be a tall, menacing figure with an intelligent mindset. For example, if Thrawn and Darth Vader stood in the same room, Thrawn would be shorter by a large margin. And even if you feared Vader more than Thrawn, you wouldn't respect Thrawn any less, if that makes sense. But Weaving could portray that aspect perfectly because being at a height of 6'2" and a master of calm temperament, he commands every single scene he's in. His acting style and history playing villainous roles would no doubt make him a shoe-in candidate. Number 4, Michael Fassbender. Now whenever I talk about this topic with anyone, they usually put Michael Fassbender in their top 2, and to be honest, I see exactly why. Fassbender is a great actor, he definitely has the necessary look for the role, and at this point, he's our favorite Magneto. But as goofy and confusing as the X-Men timeline can get, fans generally agree that one of the best movies to come out of that franchise is X-Men First Class. Don't deny it, you love it too. Fassbender giving us the younger version of Magneto is one of the main aspects, for me especially, that make me love that movie. Imagine a scene like this, but on an Imperial Star Destroyer.
Take off your blinders, brothers and sisters. The real enemy is out there. I feel their guns moving on the water. Their metal targeting us. Americans, Soviets, humans. United in their fear of the unknown.
There are thousands of men on those ships, good, honest, innocent men. They're just following orders.
I've been at the mercy of men just following orders. Never again.
Chills every single time. But I mostly would appreciate Michael Fassbender for the role because, like many on this list, he has a history of playing military characters. Not saying that it would be impossible to play Thrawn if you never played a general or lieutenant before, but since being a military tactician is one of Thrawn's main characteristics, it would be ideal to have a history in similar roles. That being said, Fassbender could pull off this role easy. Number 3, Lars Mikkelsen. You know, there's a big trend in Star Wars going on with voice actors going on to play their characters in live action. In the case of Grand Admiral Thrawn, you can arguably say that there is no better actor to take on the role than the man who provided the voice. And as far as the early rumors go, you might even be right. But with that being said, we were introduced to Mikkelsen's Grand Admiral Thrawn in the Star Wars Rebels TV show, which also gave us our first look at the character in the new Disney canon. Thrawn is portrayed in the show as a ruthless but pragmatic military leader with the tendency to understand, study, and assess his enemies before moving against them. So basically like the books. But let's be real, Rebels wasn't really my favorite show. However, it does have its fair share of great moments, most of which included legacy characters like Thrawn, Ahsoka, Vader, you get what I mean. But Thrawn was one of my favorite villains of Rebels, mainly because he was different from most villains we come to know in Star Wars at this point. He wasn't a Sith Lord, he wasn't a politician, he didn't throw temper tantrums, Kylo, and he solved problems with his mind instead of just pure brute force. Listen to this clip to get a deeper understanding.
Grand Admiral Thrawn believes the rebels intend to raid the plant and steal fighters for their fleet.
Every ship they add to their arsenal increases the threat to our own armada and the Emperor's plans.
I trust you have a solution.
I will start my operations here and pull the rebels apart piece by piece. They'll be the architects of their own destruction.
If I can go back to the time when Thrawn only resided in the comic books and ask myself, what should the voice of Thrawn sound like? I would choose this example exactly. Oh, and fun fact, you all remember Galen Erso from Rogue One, right? Of course you do. But just in case you don't, Galen Erso was the scientist responsible for the infamous fatal design flaw of the Death Star and subsequently the destruction of the space station as a whole. Galen Erso was famously played by Lars Mikkelsen, who just so happens to be Lars Mikkelsen's younger brother. So imagine the man's blood brother playing one of the most brilliant, capable Imperial leaders in Star Wars history. In the words of the creator himself,
again, it's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
Number 2, Jason Isaacs. Jason Isaacs is a certified acting legend. Not only did he provide us with some of the greatest live-action villain roles of all time, but plenty of memorable voice acting roles as well. Isaacs has blessed audiences for years, giving us roles such as Commander Zhao in Avatar: The Last Airbender, Colonel William Tavenson from The Patriot, and most infamously, Lucius Malfoy from the Harry Potter series. Oh, and fun fact number 2, Jason Isaacs also voiced the Grand Inquisitor in Star Wars Rebels, the main villain from season 1. I really didn't know that before making this video, that's dope. But I digress. Isaac's many roles as military men especially automatically put him in the upper ranks of actors who should portray Grand Admiral Thrawn. If I were to choose 3 traits that are essential to nail the character of Thrawn, it would be 1, a stoic, analytical approach to pressure situations, 2, a calm yet looming voice, and 3, a presence that commands respect and reverence among his troops. As far as I'm concerned, Jason Isaacs checks every box, but as the Grandmaster likes to put it,
there is another.
Number 1, Benedict Cumberbatch. I think if you had the power to take a comic book picture of Thrawn and make it come to life right in front of you, Benedict Cumberbatch is the literal result you would get. But let's get the obvious out of the way. Not only does Cumberbatch check all of the physical requirements to play Thrawn, he has all the acting chops to do so as well. I honestly think that part speaks for itself. But what I love most about Cumberbatch is in general his skill as a character actor. Whether it's Sherlock Holmes, Doctor Strange, or even Billy Bolger, Cumberbatch plays each character till its full potential. To best describe it, he doesn't just portray characters, he becomes characters. Another aspect that makes him perfect for this role is his experience with playing good guys and bad guys. Grand Admiral Thrawn is not an evil character. Well, not necessarily. His beliefs mainly lie in the protection of his people, the Chiss Ascendancy, and he's convinced that the Empire provides the most beneficial way in doing so. See why I mentioned Thanos earlier? I think Benedict Cumberbatch will be able to pull this dynamic off easily based on the characters he's played in the past. There's no doubt in my mind, and this scene covers it all.
Who the hell are you?
A remnant of a time long past. Genetically engineered to be superior so as to lead others to peace in a world at war. But we were condemned as criminals, forced into exile. John Harrison was a fiction created the moment I was awoken by your Admiral Marcus to help him advance his cause. A smokescreen to conceal my true identity. My name is Khan.
The mannerisms, perfect. The voice, perfect. Guys, this is Grand Admiral Thrawn. All he's missing is blue skin and red eyes. Thank you all for watching today's video. Who do you think should play Grand Admiral Thrawn when he steps into live action Star Wars? If you think I missed anybody, be sure to mention them down in the comments below. Just remember to be cool and respectful about it. We only talking opinions, right?
Wrong!
Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on when I post new videos. I actually have quite a few that I'm working on right now, and I'm excited to get them all to you as soon as I can. Lastly, be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DizTheWiz12. I talk Star Wars daily, I post hella memes. It's a good time, so shoot me a follow. Since I'm pretty new at this, I'll follow back in everything. But enjoy the holidays, everyone, and may the Force be with you. See you next time.